I remember the days of trying to manifest a person, not knowing if I was doing the right things, in over my head, what person was best to watch, what content would be the best. It was just confusing and I hated it, I'll be honest. So today, knowing that you're in a roughly the same sort of boat, I'm just giving you what I did to manifest my person so you can copy and paste. This won't be an elusive video recommending some techniques or anything like that. It's just straight up, this is what I did, when, why, and how. Copy it. So if you feel like you want to just sit back, put your feet up and let someone else do the work for you, this is the video for you. So let's get started. Now, I used to make use of something called a technique portfolio. As far as I'm aware, I coined this term, but who knows? And this was derived from the idea of an investment portfolio. With investing, if you put all your eggs in a singular stock or sector and it goes bankrupt or liquidates, you will lose a huge chunk of the money that you invested. Whereas if you spread that out a little bit, you buy some McDonald's, some Apple, some SSE, and McDonald's goes bankrupt, at least you don't lose a massive chunk of all of your money, just the amount related to McDonald's, for example. Now, with manifestation, on the earlier end of my journey, I used to only utilize affirmations or visualizations. I very rarely did them together because I was still learning the ins and outs. So when I had a day that my visualization just didn't seem to click, I felt like I'd wasted that day. And that didn't feel good. That made me feel like I was doing it wrong. That made me feel like the results were going to take longer, which of course that consciousness then accentuated that. And it was kind of just a little spiral. So I understood, okay, why would I not put all my eggs in one basket regarding investments, but I would with manifestations? So I decided to utilize a technique portfolio, which is where each day I would utilize different techniques together so that if my visualizations weren't up to scratch that day, I didn't feel like it was wasted because my affirmations or my scripting felt really good, for example. And this did come in handy because there were days when I just visualized very well, that I felt comforted by the fact that I really got into my scripts or I really got into my affirmations and so on. So when manifesting Katie back, I utilized this exact process of the portfolio, technique portfolio. And the way that I would do it, this was my daily routine, I suppose you could say. When I first woke up, I would immediately visualize varying scenes, but the most common one that I visualized was me knocking on the door, her opening it, us embracing, and basically saying that we're glad we're giving this another go. And I did that immediately upon waking to make use of the alpha brainwave state that you're in, which is associated with relaxation, drowsiness, sleepiness, where the subconscious mind is more receptive than when you're in the beta brainwave length, which is what we're typically in as we go through the day. The very sort of wired, ready to go, sort of deer in headlights, kind of like, ooh, sort of state. So I would make use of the time when it was naturally easier and more effective to manifest to really immerse myself in a visualization. Now, there's no particular reason that I chose visualization first, other than I was just laid in bed because I'd just woken up and it was comfortable. If you're enjoying this video so far and you found some value in it, don't forget to drop me a like and a comment on it. It's completely free for you, but it pushes it out on the algorithm to help more people get their person, just like I did and just like I'm helping you do. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos that could change your life. Now let's get back to the video. Once I got up, I'd then grab my notepad and I would just fill out a page or two of some more descriptive affirmations. So where affirmation, for example, could be, I'm in a relationship with Katie, my scripting would be more like, I'm in a loving relationship with Katie in which we both feel safe, happy, and protected, for example. I would flesh out those affirmations to really feel into them as I was scripting, and I'd script about a page, maybe 2 pages of like an A5 notebook, and try my best to really feel into it as I did so. That was kind of like the main section of the morning done. My visualization until satisfaction. For me, that usually takes about 5 minutes, sometimes 10 depending on the day, and then scripting for a page or 2. Then once I got up, I would try to go about my day, but as you can imagine, and as I'm sure you're experiencing or have experienced, when it's someone that you want back and feelings and emotions are high, they come to mind a lot. So while I tried to really focus on my day, I was doing a lot of mental diet work. And what that looked like for me was staying very vigilant of my thoughts as I went through my day, noticing what was coming up, noticing why, and I would utilize affirmations as a way to counter negative thoughts. So one thing Katie said to me was that she thought we weren't compatible. So one affirmation that I utilized was, Katie knows we are compatible. But I also utilized the technique called the I remember when technique, which is an affirmation in a sense where you're basically pretending like you're looking back on the bad things as a memory because now it is different. For example, I remember when Katie thought we weren't compatible, but now she knows we are and we're in a loving relationship. And as I would go through my day, I would quite literally just live my life as best as I could. If I noticed myself thinking about Katie, if it was good, I'd let them play out. If it was something that states the desire isn't in effect, I would either overcome that with, I'm in a loving relationship with Katie, Katie and I are happily committed to each other, Katie knows we're compatible, and so on. If the thoughts were really bad and my mind was really wanting to just focus on the negative, I would then utilize the I remember when technique because it was a way to focus on the negative but flipping it into a positive perspective. It kind of gave my mind that little bit of satisfaction of thinking about how she said we weren't compatible, but then it tailors to the manifestation sense to say, but now we are. And I would basically do that all throughout the day, and I did have to do it a lot. My mind was very much focusing on Katie, the breakup, yada, yada, yada. So there was a lot of working through it, a lot of flipping those thoughts back with the affirmations, a lot of the I remember when technique, and I kind of did that all throughout the day. And then it came to nighttime, and I would do the morning routine, but again the other way. So scripting first, another page or two, and then go into my visualization. And I tried to fall asleep to the visualization. And the reason why I did that, of course, that state you're naturally in a more drowsy space, so it's easier to impress the subconscious mind. But what we don't notice is that as we're falling asleep, our minds will run rampant. And if you've got bad things going on in your life, they'll typically dwell on the bad thing. And it can quite often leave that bad thing as the last thing to give your subconscious mind, because you're thinking about it as you're falling asleep, you're sort of dwelling in it, you're thinking about it, you're panicking about it, whatever arises, giving that as the last message to your subconscious mind, giving it the entirety of the night to churn through that. And I wanted to avoid that as best as possible. So I would try to fill that time with the visualization, and it felt good, it felt effective, and that would give the visualization as the last thing for my subconscious mind to get to work with, thus helping me out. And I think that had a massive difference, because the day that we reconciled, I actually woke up to a missed call. So something had happened while I was sleeping, woke up to a missed call, called her back, and then obviously the rest is history from there. And I genuinely feel that because I was falling asleep to the visualization, that's why it happened before I'd woken up, because that was the last story for my subconscious mind to take in, and it had churned working through it for hours while I was asleep, bringing me the result by morning. If you're finding value in what I've said today and you want me to help you more specifically, I do offer plenty of one-to-one coaching services, as well as memberships and an academy that are all designed with exclusive content, free products, courses, and more to help you succeed. So if you want a little bit more in-depth and a little bit more tailored to your situation, check out the links that are in the description, because they'll take you to my website where I've got all of that. But let's get back to the video again. And I have noticed this with other things as well. When I visualize money while falling asleep, I have found that I've woken up to huge amounts of money coming into my account, or a surge of clients or whatever. A video that I did a couple of years ago, I visualized the subscribers going up. I affirmed it as well a little bit while I was falling asleep. And that following day, and then subsequent days from there, this view account was just flying up, and it's still my most viewed video today. That one I can attribute to falling asleep to the visualization and affirmations, because I sort of did a bit of both at the time. So I do genuinely advocate, if you can, fall asleep to the visualizations or the affirmations. Give that story as the last one for your subconscious mind to get working with, and it will get working with it. And I did that for the few days, because obviously I manifested her back in less than a week. So I did that for a few days. And then on the day before we finally reconciled, I kind of had this release of, you know what, I'm okay. Now, it was not letting go of her. It was just an understanding that I am actually okay. I'm not dying. Yes, there's feelings there. Yes, I would prefer to have her here, but I am not dying. I am okay, and I will be okay. More of a self-soothe, I suppose you could say. It wasn't necessarily with the idea to detach. It was more just a case of like, you know what, it's okay. Like, just relax, it's okay. You are not going to die. You are not going to, lose a limb. You're okay. And I genuinely think that kind of like willingness to say, you know what, things are okay, but still being conscious with the work helped me detach enough for the result to come in, because she came in, like I say, the day after. The detachment during the day mixed with the visualization at night, mixed with all of the work that I'd done prior days, made that result. So I urge you, if you want a process that is the exact one that someone else used to manifest, I urge you try this one out. Visualize when you first wake up. Script just before you kind of get on with your day. Keep an eye on your thoughts as you go through the day, utilizing end result based affirmations, or the I remember when one if you feel like you have the same sort of struggling circumstances as I did. Script just before you get into bed, visualize as you're falling asleep, and that, my friends, will help you manifest, because by doing the visualization and the scripting proactively, you're creating that dominant state of consciousness, proactively really. And then by utilizing the affirmations as you go through your day, you're creating that dominant state by reacting to what you're thinking. I suppose responding should probably be the word that I use. Responding to what you're thinking in a way that would favor your manifestation, thus creating a dominant state of consciousness of having. And if your visualization sucked one morning, that's fine. Your scripts felt good, your affirmations felt good, you're all good. If you weren't great at getting your thoughts back on track during the day with the affirmations, that's fine, because you visualized and scripted in the morning and night, so you did a lot of proactive work anyway. So this is the technique portfolio. I think it's a great process. Not so much what I utilize now, because I've become more accustomed to my mind, and now I can just kind of dwell in the end for 5 to 10 minutes in the morning and things happen. But if I was back then, or if I was struggling with a manifestation process even now, I would utilize the technique portfolio, because I think it's a good process to keep yourself on board. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the exact process that I utilized to manifest Katie. The affirmations that I made use of are things like, I am in a loving, committed relationship with Katie. I remember when Katie thought we weren't compatible, but now we are. Katie and I are in consistent and loving communication, things of that nature. Katie and I feel safe and secure in our relationship. The scripts were basically those affirmations, just fleshed out with a little bit more description. I feel safe and secure in my relationship with Katie because we both make the effort to prioritize each other, for example. And the visualization were mostly boiled down to me knocking on the door, her opening it, us embracing. Now that did not happen when we reconciled, but that scene did happen a few times later, which is fine by me. Even if it wasn't the exact way we reconciled and we're still here today doing exceptionally well. So I don't care if it was a few times later, it worked. But that is what I did. I urge you to copy it if you're feeling a little bit lost right now. If you do need any one-to-one help with me giving you ideas specifically to your situation, head down to the comment section and the description, because there you'll find the links to my website. On that website, I also have hundreds of exclusive videos that you can find on the memberships, but also on the Academy. And the Academy offers the full Manifest Your Specific Person course, the self-concept course, which is being uploaded at present, the beating anxiety course, which is being uploaded at present, and soon to be the body language course. But if you would like some free products or discounts, any of the memberships offer that, the Academy offers that, and much more. So I do urge you to check it out and let me know what you think. But for now, drop me a like and a comment on this video to let me know you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon, and I'll see you in the next one.